If you're listening to this right now, there's a good chance you've been carrying more than you let on. Maybe not loudly, maybe not in a way others can see, but quietly, internally, in the places where no one checks. So before we go anywhere, before you try to fix anything, before you judge yourself for how you feel, take one slow breath and let it out. You don't need to be productive in this moment. You don't need to be strong. You don't need to figure anything out. Just stay here. You are allowed to pause. There is a pressure many people live under without ever naming it. The pressure of time, the pressure of comparison, the pressure of feeling like you should be further along by now. And that pressure doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers. It says things like, "You should be doing more. You should have figured this out already. Everyone else seems ahead." And slowly, day by day, those whispers start to feel like truth. But they are not. They are noise. And tonight, or today, this is where we turn the volume down. You are not behind in life. You are not late. You are not failing. You are not missing some secret everyone else was given. You are moving through life at the speed required to become who you're meant to be. And that speed is not the same for everyone. It never was. Some people bloom early. Some people bloom slowly. Some people grow roots before they ever grow branches. And roots are invisible. No one applauds roots. No one posts pictures of roots. But without them, nothing stands. If your life feels quiet right now, if progress feels slow, if results haven't caught up to effort, it doesn't mean nothing is happening. It means something important is forming beneath the surface. We live in a world that celebrates outcomes but rarely honors process. A world that praises arrivals but ignores the cost of the journey. So it's easy to feel like rest is weakness, like uncertainty is failure, like slowing down means giving up. But rest is not quitting. Rest is maintenance. And slowing down does not mean you are stopping. It means you are listening. Listen to this carefully. You are allowed to move at your own pace without apologizing. You are allowed to take longer than you expected. You are allowed to change your mind, to outgrow old plans, to choose peace over pressure. That does not make you inconsistent. It makes you honest. There are seasons in life that are loud, and there are seasons that are quiet. Quiet seasons are not empty. They are instructional. They teach you patience. They teach you discernment. They teach you how to be with yourself without distraction. And that skill alone will change your entire life. You don't need to chase motivation right now. You don't need to hype yourself up or force optimism. All you need is permission to be where you are without shame. Because shame drains energy, and compassion restores it. So be gentle with yourself. You have survived things you once thought you wouldn't. You have adapted in ways no one ever saw. You have kept going even when clarity was missing. That matters. Take another slow breath. Notice where your body is holding tension. Your shoulders, your jaw, your chest. You don't have to release it all at once. Just soften it slightly. That's enough. Here's something rarely said out loud. Feeling lost does not mean you lack direction. Often, it means your old direction no longer fits. And that in-between space can feel uncomfortable, because identity shifts are quiet. They don't announce themselves. They feel like confusion, like restlessness, like discontent without a clear reason. But that doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're changing. Not everything that feels like falling apart is actually falling apart. Some things are falling into alignment, slowly, subtly, without spectacle. And alignment is not dramatic. It's peaceful. You do not need to rush clarity. Clarity arrives when the nervous system feels safe. And safety begins with slowing down, with breathing, with presence, with kindness toward yourself. That's what you're practicing right now. You may have been told that discipline is the answer to everything, and discipline is important. But discipline without compassion turns into punishment. True strength is balanced. It knows when to push, and it knows when to rest. It knows when to act, and it knows when to wait. Wisdom is knowing the difference. Let this land. You are not behind because your timeline was never meant to look like anyone else's. Comparison steals context. You don't know what someone else sacrificed. You don't know what support they had. You don't know what struggles they're hiding. So stop measuring your life with someone else's ruler. It was never built for you. Instead, ask a gentler question. What does my system need right now? Not what looks impressive, not what earns approval, but what supports sustainability. Because you are not here to burn out for validation. You are here to build a life you can actually live inside. There is nothing wrong with wanting more, but there is also nothing wrong with appreciating where you are. Both can exist at the same time. Gratitude does not cancel ambition. It stabilizes it.
If your energy has been low lately, it doesn't mean you're lazy. It may mean you've been in survival mode longer than you realized. Survival mode doesn't feel dramatic. It feels numb. It feels tired. It feels like you're doing the bare minimum just to get through the day. And if that's where you are, that's okay. You're not weak. You're human. Healing is not always productive. Sometimes it looks like rest, like boredom, like stillness. And stillness can feel scary when you're used to moving to avoid feeling. But stillness is where integration happens. It's where lessons settle. It's where strength reorganizes. You don't need to reinvent your life tonight. You don't need a 5-year plan. You just need to take care of this moment, this breath, this pause. Small resets compound. Let me remind you of something important. You are not running out of time. You are learning timing. And timing is intelligence. Some paths take longer because they go deeper. Some transformations take longer because they're meant to last. So if your journey feels slow, it may be because it's thorough. You are allowed to be proud of yourself for surviving, for continuing, for choosing not to quit even when things didn't make sense. That quiet perseverance is one of your greatest strengths, even if no one ever applauds it. Take another breath, and as you exhale, imagine releasing the idea that you must prove your worth. You were never meant to earn your right to exist. You already belong. Your life does not need to look impressive to be meaningful. It needs to feel aligned. And alignment starts internally, with honesty, with rest, with patience. You are not behind. You are becoming. And becoming is not linear. It spirals. It revisits. It deepens. Each time you think you're starting over, you're actually starting from experience. Carry that with you. You don't need to rush forward tonight. You can move gently. You can continue tomorrow. Take one final slow breath. Let it settle. And when you're ready, return to your life with less pressure and more trust. You are doing better than you think. And this was your reset. Take a breath. Not the shallow kind you've been using to survive the day, but a real one. Slow, deep, unrushed. Because nothing is chasing you right now. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not failing at some invisible schedule everyone else seems to understand. That timeline you're comparing yourself to, it was never universal. It was never fair. And it was never meant to define you. Some people bloom early. Some bloom quietly. Some bloom after years underground where no one claps, no one sees, and no one believes, but roots are forming anyway. Growth doesn't announce itself. It prepares in silence.
What feels like stagnation is often integration. What feels like delay is often alignment. And what feels like being behind is sometimes life protecting you from arriving too soon at something you weren't ready to carry. You didn't miss your moment. Your moment is adjusting to the weight of who you're becoming. Look back, not with regret, but with clarity. See how many things had to not work for you to gain the awareness you now have. See how many versions of you had to fall apart so this one could finally stand with honesty. You are not behind. You are on a longer path, and longer paths tend to build stronger souls. So here's the reset. Release the urgency. Release the self-comparison. Release the shame of not being further along. You don't need to catch up. You need to arrive. Arrive in your body. Arrive in this breath. Arrive in the truth that you are still here, still learning, still evolving, still capable of beginning again. And now, this is important. When this audio ends, don't rush back into noise. Sit with yourself for a moment. Let the nervous system settle. Let the mind unclench. Then choose one small action, not 10. 1. Not to prove your worth, not to impress anyone, but to honor your direction. Because progress doesn't come from pressure, it comes from presence. If this reset reached you, if it slowed something down inside you, then stay connected. Subscribe for more deep resets like this. Return whenever life convinces you that you're running out of time. You're not. You're right where you need to be. And from this place, everything real begins again.